If you've listened to me talk long enough about ultra-based systems, I immediately start talking about geosynthetic stabilization fabrics and geosystems. They're an important part of what we're doing. The reason being is that our panel is a structural-based system, but what the geosynthetic fabrics do act as a support layer for our panels. We've done an enormous amount of testing around the world and looked at lots of different products, and there's a lot of great systems out there. There are woven polypropylenes, and there are what's called spun bonds. And I like this product for a lot of reasons because, number one, it's almost stiff, which gives us a great stability on the ground for our panels to rest on. It's very smooth, so our panels slide across it very nice during installation. And of course, weeds and whatnot don't come through that. But people always think, you know, they call this a weed barrier. It's not, it's much more than that. It's, again, part of that, replacing mass with science. This is part of the system. What we have here is a spun bond system. This one is particularly a spun bond polyester. There's also spun bond polypropylenes. I happen to like the polyesters a little bit better because they don't seem to distort as much when you're laying them down, a little bit of wrinkle here or there. But this product is extremely important. We've actually seen fields that we've done on compacted grounds that when this product goes down and our panel system sits on top of it, we remove it a year later and we only see the slightest indentation of our panel into the ground. So effectively, this product is acting like a snowshoe that the panel is resting on top of this on the properly prepared ground, and the load is being transmitted out across the geofabric and keeping the panel sitting very, very nicely on top of the ground, keeping all the water flow systems underneath all intact. So this is why this is so important. So I just wanted to kind of show it. Now, we make this available both in permeable and impermeable. One has water flow through it, one doesn't. And you may say, well, why would you want water not to flow through it? It's really a technique that we're exploring very, very heavily with a lot of scientists around the world and having great feedback that if we're able to starve the water off the field, for example, expansive clay soils, if you take the water away, it's not going to turn to mud. If you begin to get rid of water in cold weather temperatures, there's the frost heave issue begins to go away. So by taking an impermeable stabilization fabric down on virtually any ground that you prepare, and you force the water out from under the panels to the perimeter edges or inline or infield drain systems, you can essentially create predictability in the ground. I tell this story all the time and my staff's sick of hearing it, but I sat on a conference call a year ago with a team of PhDs in soil mechanics and civil engineering, and one of them finally stopped the conversation that was on the phone and said, look, can we all agree to one thing? There are three major reasons that field bases fail, roads fail, or construction sites fail. It's water, water, and water. If we can begin to control and eliminate the water, we create predictability. So I just wanted to show and say just briefly, you know, why this is such an important part of the ultra-based systems panels and should never be skimped on, which is why we're going to be selling our own version of it, because we want to make sure you're getting the best possible solution for under our panels.